Imagine a room full of curious minds. Not a clinical lab, but a warm space with beanbags, whiteboards, and a kettle that never shuts off. You stand at the front, not to sermonize, but to invite a very grown-up conversation. What if we taught pleasure the same way we teach nutrition or sleep? What if masturbation education were a serious, evidence-based field with methods, outcome, ethics, and endless puzzles to solve? I open with a short story. A graduate student arrives with a stack of surveys and a trembling hand. Their first question to participants was simple: how do you learn about your own body? Answers range from giggles to long silences. Some list doctors, some list porn, some list nobody. That silence is the signal. Shame and secrecy leave gaps in knowledge, and gaps are where misinformation grows. So what do we study? Start with language. The words we use shape experience. Swap euphemisms for clear anatomical names. Teach pleasure vocabulary, like you would teach a new scientific term. Ask participants to map sensation, to draw a safe map of their body. That kind of research tool, sensory mapping, lets us quantify subjective space without being prurient. It becomes data, it becomes compassion, then look to the brain. Neuroimaging shows patterns of reward circuitry lighting up during self-stimulation. Just like during social touch or bonding. Hormones shift, dopamine spikes for novelty. Oxytocin whispers during release. These findings are not titillating. They are clues. They help us design intervention, stress reduction protocols, sleep hygiene adjustment, and pain management strategies that include self-care practices. Culture matters. Across history, solo sexual expression moves from ritual to taboo, to medicalized problem, and back toward a private act of well-being. Comparative work across cultures reveals how law, religion, and gender roles shape who feels allowed to explore. Intersectional research uncovers disparities. People with disabilities, older adults, and queer populations face unique barriers. Designing inclusive education means co-creating with those groups. Ask the communities what they want. That is research and respect in one. Ethics anchors this field. Consent is not a checkbox. In studies, anonymity and voluntary reporting are essential. We build protocols that protect participants while honoring their stories. We pilot modules in small group, test comprehension, measure comfort, and iterate. The researcher who forgets the human behind the data will get numbers, but not meaning. Now for pedagogy, imagine a short syllabus. Anatomy, pleasure literacy, safety, and height. Harm reduction, communication, and boundary. At a lab session, not to instruct explicit act, but to practice naming, to explore fantasies as cognitive work, and to design personal plans for sexual well-being. Use diaries, timed reflection, and pre- and post-intervention measures like stress, sleep, and sexual satisfaction. Simple tools give powerful outcomes. Finally, think of the open questions that will keep you awake at night. How does early shame alter the arc of later sexual function? Can guided self-exploration reduce compulsive behavior? What policies protect privacy in digital sexual health research? How do we teach consent to oneself? Each question is a doorway to a study, a grant, a paper, and a public conversation. You leave the room with a small card. 3 prompt questions to take to your lab, your clinic, or your classroom. 1. What word do you use for your body? And where did you learn it? 2. What steps could reduce shame in your community? 3. What measurable outcome will show that your intervention worked? These are practical, they are urgent, they're doable. So go ahead, apply your methods, recruit respectfully, measure carefully, and tell stories with data. Masturbation education is not fluff. It is public health, neuroscience, pedagogy, and human rights rolled into one tidy, stubbornly important field. Dive in, design boldly, and keep asking better questions.